In global diplomacy, access is a privilege that can be revoked at any time. The US is recalibrating its relationship with its largest democratic partner. The shift became public at the Raisina Dialogue in New Delhi, an annual multilateral conference held in India to discuss global geopolitics and geoeconomics. There, US Diplomat Christopher Landau delivered an unusually direct message to the host nation. Landau set a specific boundary. Washington intends to engage with India, but only under conditions that protect American commercial interests. Sweeping access to US markets and sensitive technology is no longer guaranteed. This indicates a shift toward a managed relationship. Washington is signaling that India's growth will be monitored through the lens of US domestic stability. On the surface, the partnership appears robust. Trade volumes are reaching new heights, and defense cooperation between the two nations has never been deeper. India recently secured a major trade win, navigating past the 50% import tariffs that once strained the bilateral relationship. However, these individual successes exist within a new, more guarded framework. The era of unconditional economic integration has given way to a policy of strategic caution. To find the source of this caution, we have to look back 20 years. In the early 2000s, U.S. policy focused on granting China broad access to American capital and technology, a decision now viewed in Washington with deep regret. This animated chart compares standard U.S. projections against the actual trajectory of Chinese commercial output. Instead of a junior partner, U.S. planners found themselves displaced by a competitor that used American tools to surpass benchmarks. Washington is now applying these lessons to India. The goal is to ensure that India's rise follows a path that avoids undermining American technological leadership. This strategy is currently playing out in the field of human capital. It specifically impacts Indian nationals, who represent the largest group of international students currently in the United States. Current U.S. policy frames these students as a workforce that competes directly with American citizens for high-paying roles. This sentiment translated into policy during the Trump administration, which froze the H-1B visa program. The H-1B is a temporary visa category that allows U.S. employers to petition for highly educated foreign professionals to work in specialty occupations. By restricting these visas, the U.S. is pulling a geopolitical lever. Capping the flow of talent limits India's ability to gain the institutional experience required to build high-tech industries that could rival America's. This approach contains internal friction. The American tech sector relies heavily on the very same Indian engineers and researchers the government is now trying to limit. This dynamic pie chart shows the percentage of U.S. tech patents and research lab directors driven by Indian-born workers. This demographic is a cornerstone of American innovation, filing thousands of patents and leading key corporate divisions. This creates a protectionist paradox. By attempting to contain a future rival, the U.S. risks degrading the talent pool that sustains its own technological lead. This hardline transactional stance reflects a new consensus in Washington. The U.S. Capitol is now the center of a policy that prioritizes American economic security over global integration. While both sides still seek win-win scenarios, the tone of the partnership has changed. Proximity no longer guarantees a predictable alliance. The current objective is clear. Washington will support India as a regional counterweight, but the moment that growth threatens American dominance, the terms of the deal will tighten to prevent a second China mistake.